Yeah, and we did some nudes before that
We
as
did.
well.
That was phenomenal.
I'm not joking.
You needed a Zoom.
Tell me a little bit about... I'm a celebrity photographer working in Los Angeles. Some of the places I've traveled to for my photography are Singapore, New York and Mumbai. This is Exposure. Welcome to Exposure. I'm your host, Dennys Ilic, and I've been lucky enough to travel the world and photograph some pretty extraordinary people. As a result, we have an amazing actor with us today, Aleks Paunovic. Aleks, thanks for coming and joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me, my friend.
Essentially, you were like one of the very first of the Canadian actors that I photographed when I was in Vancouver. One thing that I learnt while we were doing those photographs is that, you know, you have this imposing figure and you've got this tough guy thing.
My boxing career it started early. I have 3 generations of boxers, so for me, that was something that I learned immediately. It was like in my bones.
But as we, you know, went through the day, you know, that soft and funny side came through. That one photograph that I sent you, one of the first ones that I took, which was that really soft image where you're holding your collar and you're just looking gently into the camera, and it was in your apartment and the sun was setting. And I remember you posted that on your Facebook.
Right.
And holy cow, I woke up the next day to, like, you know, 300 friend requests on Facebook.
Right.
And literally 40 direct messages of people saying, you know, I want to work with you. And I literally did photo shoots for the next 2 weeks every day because of that one photograph. Wow. So we did that shoot and then we revisited and did another one, which was kind of the one that, you know, there were a lot of favorite photographs out of, and it was a little bit more up to date, and it was kind of in the sort of damp, wet streets of Vancouver, which was really cool, and you were wearing the suit.
Right. Well, it's one of my most proud images that I like, because I just don't feel like it's fabricated. Because I remember that shoot. You said, let's go outside. I was like, no, it's raining.
It's dark. It was like 6 p.m. in Vancouver.
I didn't want to do it. You're like, let's go. And we just went outside and had a good time. Mostly I would have been insecure. And if somebody asked me that I wasn't crazy about, I would just shut it down. But just the friendship and how you let me in, I trust it. And we had that's some of the cover shots that I had.
Yeah, and we did some nudes before that.
We did. That was phenomenal.
I'm not joking.
You needed a Zoom.
Tell me a little bit about... Last year you did Planet of the Apes.
Right.
And you were the white ape in that, which was really cool. Winter, How hard was it doing that?
Well, it's really interesting. You know, it's motion capture, but we've elevated to a point where it's performance capture. And Andy is just absolutely phenomenal in the film, and it's one of those things where, you know, people are arguing about the Academy recognizing him, and the thing is, like, John Hurt was Elephant Man in the film, and the only difference is they applied the makeup before the performance. So there's really no over-exaggeration. We had a month of ape camp, which was super cool. We literally were in ape camp. Going to work was ape camp.
That's so cool.
And Andy led, you know, on the last day of ape camp, we were kind of basically sent into the woods where people walk their dogs, almost like a Runyon kind of feel. And we couldn't break character for 2 hours. And we're doing our process, and Andy led it, and he didn't have to because he's done 2 other films.
You just touched on something that's just curious for me. What was the audition process? Well, were you auditioning for Winter specifically, or for any ape?
No, I auditioned for 3 different ones. I was auditioning for Winter, and that's the one that I wanted because he was so broken, and I loved that one. And my physique being 6'5", being vulnerable like that, I really wanted that one. And so as the audition process went on, and I just spoke about this, like, how do you know what to do? Somebody was telling me, and it was literally my instincts were not to put a lot of attention on the physicality, actually do the physicality, but you need to look like you can be coachable, not to be kind of solid on one thing, and showing the emotional process for me. So I think that helped me a lot, not concentrating on the physicality as much as just telling the story.
I can imagine that audition process is pretty unique. You know, it's like you're not doing lines or, you know, rehearsing.
Just grunting. Basically what we do when we go out.
When we hang out and our photo shoots as well.
That's right.
Our social media question is from Mia Like Miami, who would like to know if there's anything that you bring into your acting from your boxing.
So when I started acting and I did my first play, and I think you were there.
Danny in the Deep Blue Sea.
Right.
I photographed the poster I
That's right. So when I did my first theatrical play, And right before opening night, it's my first time. I can hear the people out there. I think it was a full house, like 300 people. And I just had the crazy butterflies. Everything's going and thinking of the worst things that could possibly happen. Yeah. And then I was like, whoa, wait a second. This is exactly what happens before a fight. Yeah. So I just started shadow boxing and started like doing like voice exercises and mouth exercises. So I'm all warmed up over there. And as I was shadow boxing, and all the nerves went, and I walked on the stage. So that was one of the moments that it really helped me. It helps me in auditions, helps me whenever I get nervous. I just do a little bit of shadow boxing.
Box it out.
And then I also know that no one's punching me in the face. So.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Aleks. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you coming down.
Now, or?
We do, Hollywood style.
Oh, the dip, I'll dip.
The dip. Thanks so much, brother. Thanks for coming on the show. Man. And thanks for joining us on Exposure. Don't forget to keep an eye on Guru Hub, there's more to come, and send your questions in, they will be featured in the next episode. We'll see you next time.